sir. Nice eaters. 10-inch crappies. Kind of a weird day today. It's really foggy. Can't see anything out here. Just out targeting panfish. We're in 18 feet of water between two. There's two humps out here, kind of mid-lake. It's hard to tell we're in mid-lake, but right out in the dead center of the lake. It's not even really a basin. There's a whole lot of structure around here. And these fish, they're not, I wouldn't necessarily call them suspended. They are off the bottom a couple of feet. But the cool thing is, if you look at my Vexilar, I'm using an FLX28. It's on auto mode, and I'm using the zoom mode just to get that line separation. But the other cool thing that I love about the FLX series and the 28s and the 30s is they have a color select, and I'm using color select number 4. And the reason I like that one is if you watch the marks, you can see my jig going down, but you watch those marks and you see how active those fish are. You can tell a lot by that color selection and using a wider color palette. So the white mark is actually the hot color, not the red. And the nice thing is, with all those different colors, you can see the action of the fish and if that fish is really active or not. A lot of times when you're looking at it, sometimes you'll just see a single mark come in, and they don't necessarily, they're not really motivated to eat. They're not really triggering. But then again, you'll see these other, and you got to work really hard for them. But then again, you'll see these marks come in, and the whites flutter in, the pink or the red and the greens and the yellows are moving really fast, and there's a lot of flickering. That pretty much means that fish is going to commit to eating, and that'll tell you a lot about the fish and their attitude and how they're gonna feed, or if they're gonna even feed. So you can see I got a couple of marks down here on the bottom, and as we get down here, we're just kind of hanging out, 3-4 feet off the bottom, and letting them kind of cruise and seeing if they're gonna show up. And there they are. So you can see the flickering, you can see the tail movement, now he's getting inside the cone. And there he is, just like that. So a lot to learn from a Vexilar. There's a lot of things out there helping you find the fish these days, forward facing sonar and all that. But the nice thing is, with the Vexilar, and you're on a pot of fish, you can really tell what they're doing with the different color palette. Another nice eater crappie. So again, if you get a chance, if you have a FLX 28 or 30, try those different color selections out and see if you can improve your catching game, not just your fishing. See if there's any more down here. Kind of got quiet. We might have worked this spot over pretty good. Well, we still got one hanging out down there, and it's not necessarily the other thing you gotta understand about Vexilars. Even though you're looking at a round screen where it's like a vertical, this mark doesn't necessarily mean it's below me. That fish could be off to the side, and it could be at the same depth as my jig, and that fish is coming into it. So you have to look at it from a lateral perspective as well, because you got to remember that cone, that transducer, that shoots a cone shape down, and then with the Pro View, there's also an inner beam as well. So we got a couple more marks down there. I know it's probably a little tricky to see on the screen, but there we got one racing up. A vapor trail, we call that. He came in so hot, he flew right past it. See if we can get one more to go here. just sniffed it just a little bit. We're getting some aggressive fish. Well, a lot of times too, kind of the rule of thumb, your more aggressive fish will be up higher in the water column. They're a little more apt to eat. They'll come up higher and typically feed. Your fish on the bottom typically are a little more tight-lipped and have a tougher time going. There we go. Look at those colors moving. Just like that. And like that. Little fella. So again, check out some of the features on the Vexilars. I think you'll be pretty impressed. There's a respectable bluegill. Nice fish. They're getting some nice fish mixed in today. Having a lot of fun out here. I got my buddy Tom up. Tom's from Missouri. He makes an annual trip up to do some ice fishing with us and likes crappie fishing and having some fun. So again, get out, check out your Vexilars, check out some of the different features that they have, and it'll help you catch some more fish. And with that being said, if you have more desire to figure out some different functions with it, go to Vexilar.com, and they have a whole media section full of tutorials and how-tos. Corey Studer and Matt Waldron do a great job getting everything dialed in for the Vexilar. So check them out next time you get a chance.